The betting odds are out, and they're wild. Ilia Topuria is opening as a massive favorite against Charles Oliveira in what will be just his second lightweight fight in the UFC. Right now, Topuria is sitting as a 4-1 favorite, around 400, while Oliveira is sitting near plus 285. And get this, that's the second biggest favorite Topuria has ever been in his entire UFC run. The only time he was more favored? Against Jai Herbert. Yep, the same fight where Ilia almost got flatlined thanks to the height and reach difference. Now, to be fair, Ilia's grown leaps and bounds since then. He rebounded with a brutal KO in that same fight, went on a tear at featherweight, and took out legends like Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski to become champ. But this isn't Jai Herbert anymore. This is Charles "Du Bronx" Oliveira, a former lightweight champion who's bigger, stronger, and more experienced than ever before. People forget how much Charles has evolved. Just watch that fight with Michael Chandler. He showed he could wrestle effectively, he showed real knockout power, and he took control on the ground. He's 5'11", has a 74-inch reach, and has been living at 155 for years. Ilia's just moving up, and yet somehow the odds makers are acting like this fight is a formality. Let me say it clearly. Charles Oliveira should never be that big of an underdog, not when he's still in his prime, not when he can knock you out or submit you at any moment. His offense is that dangerous, both standing and on the mat. Ilia might be the next big thing, but these odds are straight up disrespectful. It's like Vegas is already convinced he's going to win. But the reality? This is far from a done deal. Stylistically, Ilia doesn't throw many kicks. He's not a long-range sniper. He thrives in close quarters, when he can step in, land, heavy hands, and go to the body. But Charles? Charles can hurt you from range, in the clinch or on the ground. He's deadly everywhere. And Ilia has some defensive habits that could backfire. Even in his last fight, you could see him dropping his guard mid-combo. If he tries that against someone like Oliveira, whose timing is lethal, he could eat a hook, an elbow, or even a knee. Just ask Chandler. And sure, Charles might not have the best head kicks in the division, but he can still throw them. He can hurt you with knees in the clinch, trap you against the fence, and then take your back like it's nothing. So yeah, it's insane that he's nearly a pretty 300 underdog. That implies he barely has a chance. But in reality, he has plenty of paths to victory. Now, I'm not saying Charles will win. Ilia's a killer, no doubt. If he gets inside and lands clean, he could put Oliveira out, but that's a huge if. Especially because Charles is the bigger man, has better submissions, and knows how to weaponize pressure. That's going to be a big part of this fight. Who pressures who? Both guys like to come forward, but we've rarely seen Ilia on the back foot. And if Oliveira uses his size and reach to push him back, that changes the whole fight dynamic. Ilia's at his best in the pocket, no doubt. He's one of the most dangerous fighters in the world at that range. But long range, clinch, the ground, that's Charles Oliveira territory. And then there's the cardio question. Ilia's bigger now, more muscle. But what happens in rounds 4 and 5? This isn't the featherweight division anymore. Oliveira's gone the distance with killers. Like Chandler, he knows how to fight into deep waters. Ilia at 155? We don't know yet. Honestly, this fight should be way closer to a pick'em. The fact that Oliveira is a nearly 3-1 dog is nuts. If Charles pulls off the win, especially by finish, it'll go down as one of the biggest upsets of the year statistically. Even though, to hardcore fans, it won't feel like one at all. Now, shifting gears, there's more lightweight news heating up. Arman Tsarukyan says he's most likely fighting Justin Gaethje next, and it makes sense. With Ilia fighting Charles, Islam heading to welterweight, and Dustin fighting Max, Arman versus Gaethje is the only top contender matchup left. And I gotta be honest, if that fight happens, Gaethje might be cooked. Stylistically, Arman is a nightmare for him. He's one of the best wrestlers in the division. And while Gaethje has solid takedown defense, I don't think it holds up here. Just look at what Rafael Fiziev did to Gaethje. An inverted triangle nearly ended him. Arman isn't some submission specialist, but against Gaethje's ground game, He might look like one. That should absolutely be a number 1 contender fight. Unless Max beats Dustin. Then everything gets messy. But if Arman beats Gaethje and Max beats Dustin, I think Arman gets the title shot, and Max can take on someone like the winner of Paddy Pimblett versus Dan Hooker. And speaking of that fight, Paddy versus Hooker? Low-key a banger. Hooker's striking and defensive grappling are underrated. He's long, tough, and can take big shots. If he overwhelms Paddy with volume, especially from range, that's going to be tough for Paddy to deal with. But here's another curveball. Patchy Mix just signed with the UFC. I've been talking about this for a while. This is a huge signing. Patchy's been dominating over in Bellator, and now he's finally stepping into the octagon. He's on a 7-fight win streak, only 1 career loss, and has taken out names like Kyoji Horiguchi, Magomed Magomedov, Sergio Pettis, and more. That's a legit resume. He's making his UFC debut against Mario Bautista, and I'll be real with you, it feels like the UFC is setting up Patchy to make a statement. Bautista doesn't have the takedown defense to stop someone like Mix, and Patchy's not just good on the ground, he's massive for the division. 5'11" at bantamweight, with a 71.5-inch reach. That's like Sean O'Malley size, but with elite grappling. Unless ring rust is a factor, and yeah, he hasn't fought in a year, Patchy should dominate. If he finishes Bautista, don't be surprised if he gets thrown straight into the top 10. Maybe even gets matched up with names like Corey Sandhagen, Umar Nurmagomedov, or even Davison Figueiredo. The UFC needs stars at 135, and Patchy might just be the guy. So let me know what you think. Are the odds makers sleeping on Charles Oliveira? Is Topuria really going to steamroll through 155? And what about Patchy Mix? Is he the next big threat in the bantamweight division? Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit subscribe so you don't miss more breakdowns like this. This is Knock On, and we'll be back with more heat soon.